And maybe based on the verb tense I used, you guys can know I said knitting, not knitted, and also we're in the WIP section and not finished objects, so that should probably also be a clear indicator of where we are. Hello everyone and welcome back to the DoSo Knits YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Kristen and I'm a knitter and military spouse living in Germany with my family. This is my channel where I share my knitting with all of you guys. Today is episode 14 of the DoSo Knits podcast, where I share my works in progress, finished objects, and things that I want to start working on very soon. If you'd like to find me other places, I am DoSo Knits here on YouTube and Instagram and Ravelry. Also, the show notes for this episode are on my website, dosoknits.com, and it's linked in the description box down below. And I think that's it. This past week in Germany, it's been pretty nice. We've had a lot of 60-degree weather days, so it's starting to feel a little bit warmer. It's really nice. This weekend, we plan to go hiking, so we're excited for that. Today was a little bit of a gloomier day. We had some rain, but now the sun is peeking out, which is good because I need to record this, so I'm taking advantage of the sun while we have it, and I'm excited to share with you guys what I've been knitting. So first things first is I wanted to do a little bit of admin right at the beginning. So if you're unaware, I am currently hosting a knit along. It is the New Year New WIP 21 knit along. So the purpose of this knit along was I wanted you to start and finish something from December 25th to February 28th, and it's just something that you've wanted to knit for a while but you just haven't gotten around to making it. So I'm recording this on Friday and you guys should be seeing it on Saturday, and the knit along ends on Sunday. So I just wanted to make sure if you have anything that you wanted to get entered into the knit along, make sure you pop over to the Ravelry group and you do your bind off post for your finished object, and let me know when you cast it on, when you finished it, and the name of the project, and any other information you would like us to know about your project. I'm going to keep that thread open until my March 1st morning because I'm a little ahead of you guys in the States, so I'm going to leave it open until I wake up on March 1st, and then I will close it and I will be messaging winners then. For the Ravelry winners, there are going to be a couple. For those, I will be messaging you on Ravelry if you won, and I might do a separate post on the thread as well. And then I am also going to pull a winner from Instagram as well if you use the hashtags New Year New WIP 21 and DoSo Knits on any of your Instagram posts at any point during the knit along, and I'll be drawing a winner from there as well. For that winner, I will be sending you a message on Instagram. So I hope you guys are excited. I showed some of the prizes in the last podcast episode, and I hope you guys are excited for them because I'm excited to give them to a new home, and I hope you guys enjoy. With that, we can go ahead and move on to knitting for this week. So I guess we can go ahead and start with what I am wearing. This is my Minted hat by Andrea Mowry. She does a weekend hat knit along every year, and this is the one from last year. It is knit in a merino, which was a beige, and then I held a alpaca lace weight, kind of a mohair with it that was this yellow. So overall I get this nice yellow beigey hat, and it was a pretty simple cable. In the pattern she tells you how to cable without a cable needle. This was the first time cabling without a cable needle clicked for me, and so this is a really nice pattern, and I've knit a couple of these. The yarn was Shannon Meyer Merino 120, I believe, and then the yellow lace weight was called Alpaca Cloud, also by Shannon Meyer. I will link the project page on the show notes if you guys want any more information about that. So this week I have 2 finished objects to share with you guys, which is quite exciting. For 2 weeks between podcasts, I'm pretty proud that I have 2 finished objects because sometimes I'm slow. So the first finished object that I have is my Cuprite beanie by Maker's Knitting, and this is a pattern I was test knitting for Matt Akers. The pattern should be coming out shortly, so make sure you follow Matt on Instagram if you are interested in this hat, and he has a lot of good hat designs. I've looked at them recently and they all look fabulous, and this one was amazing to knit as well. So I will show you guys. So this is my Cuprite beanie, and I test knit the small size because I have a small head. I knit this out of Stranded Dye Works Merino Yak Silk DK in her Christmas is Cancelled colorway. And so in the hat you have a folded brim. So you knit it this long, which you can then fold up. And then on the hat as well, we have this simple cable. We have a simple cable, and then these panels are nice little slip stitch patterns. So overall it's very easy. It's only a couple repeats around, and then the decreases were also quite simple. You do have a slightly different cable on the decreases because you get rid of some stitches, but overall nothing too complicated. You can also add a pom-pom if you'd like, but I'm kind of not a pom-pom. I like faux fur pom-poms. I'm not a big fan of pom-poms made out of the same yarn. I don't know. I think it's because I don't like making the pom-pom and then getting the stuff everywhere. That's what I don't like. I don't like getting little yarn fragments everywhere. But yes, I can show you guys. I'll put this on. I'm hoping tomorrow on our hike that I can get some finished object photos of this hat. So I knit the small size, and that's kind of how it looks. I could pull it down a little more. It's a little bit of a slouchy hat, which is what I like. And I did say that this hat would stretch, and I am glad it did. So, yes, that is my Cuprite beanie. So yes, the yak gives a nice little brown undertone, and the silk gives a lovely shine to the hat as well. Yes, and the pattern is exceptionally well written. So, the Cuprite beanie by Matt Akers. So my next finished object is a pair of socks. These are my On the Fence socks by Anna Lange. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's really great for a first colorwork sock pattern if you've not knit colorwork socks before. So I'll show you guys what they look like. I am quite excited for these. So these are my On the Fence socks. I knit these in 56 stitches. You do increase for the colorwork section to 64, and I knit these on my Addy Sock Wonders in the 2mm size. And the yarn is the Chromatic Yarns sock set. This is Abominable Gingerbread Man. So this was the main color, this brown, and then the sock set gives you a 20-gram mini of the contrasting color, and it's a 50-gram of the main color. So I did a 1x1 rib for the top of the socks, and then I did color work. For the color work, it went up to 64 stitches and up a needle size to 2.5mm sock wonders, and she does recommend this in the pattern as well. And then I knit the leg to my normal length, switching back to the 2mm and decreasing back to 56 for the leg. And then for the heel, I did a German short row heel with a modified heel flap adjustment, which is what this is right here. So you knit a couple rounds before you start the German short row heel just to give you a little extra length, and then you pick up these stitches on the edge just like you would a normal gusset, and you decrease them back out at the end. So I think I added 4 extra stitches per side, decrease them for 8 rounds 4 times, and you're good to go. Knit the foot the normal 56 stitches, and then I started the color work on the foot. So I normally start my toe 1.5 inches less than the length I want my sock to be. So I started the color work 2.5 inches from where I wanted the sock to end, because I measured this color work up here and it was about 1 inch. So that let me know when to start this, because it was the same chart in both places. And I did the normal toe that I've been doing, the one from the Huga Canyon sock patterns. And then, as you can tell, I ran out just a smidgen of blue there at the end. So I added the brown back for just a couple rounds, and then the Kitchener, and it did happen on both socks. So both socks had a little bit of a brown end. That is these socks. I loved working with this BFL from Chromatic Yarns. It is nice and sturdy, and it also feels slightly toothy. It just was really lovely to work with because it doesn't split, and it just feels like these socks are really gonna hold up. And I'm so excited to wear these. I think they will be a really fun going into spring pair of socks, and they just look, I don't know, I just really like the coloring. I think they are a lot of fun. So on the fence socks, I highly recommend this pattern because it's free on Ravelry, and it's a really good if you've never done color before. Those are my only finished objects for this week, and I do have a couple of works in progress that I wanted to share with you guys. So I did show these last time. These are my Porthos socks by Cacauo Coffee, and it's also a free pattern on Ravelry. And I am working these as my Desa Vista Dye Works socks for February. So I do need to finish by Sunday, but I feel like I am on track to do so. I have finished the first sock. So this is what it looks like. So it is a knit and purl pattern that is giving it this texture, even though it looks like it's waving. And I did it all the way down the leg on the back of the foot. It is stuck in it. This is in the Desert Vista Dye Works color Gingerbread People. And so I did a 1x1 ribbing for the cuff. I did 15 rounds, and then I did another German short row heel on these socks again. I've been really enjoying the German short row heel just because it feels a little faster, and I'm trying to try out some different heels. And yes, so I finished one, thankfully. I did not do the contrasting toe on this one, but I did follow the same toe. I did only decrease down to 12 stitches on this one instead of 12 stitches per needle instead of 8 per needle, because I wanted to see if they would fit Shane's foot a little bit better. Because these are for him, and I'm knitting 64 stitches for him. And you might remember because I am knitting these not with my sock wonders. So I'll show you the second sock. I'm knitting these with my Addie Crazy Trios. So I'll give you, that is what these needles look like. So you have one needle holding your front stitches, and then one needle holding your back stitches, and then you have one free needle to do with as you please. So last week I mentioned how these kind of feel like a mix between DPNs and magic loop, and I still believe that. It does feel like the quickness of having DPNs because you kind of finish a needle and you pull it out and you start the next one right away. But you also have the security that you would with magic loop, because my stitches don't feel like they're going to fall off. Because you have, and then you only have two, because you have one holding the front stitches, one holding the back stitches, and then you have one as a working needle. I do feel like it is faster than a magic loop because I don't have to thread all that fabric through. I can just push and I am ready to start the next needle. And when you're done working a needle, you just kind of shove everything to the middle where the cord is, which is where my fingers are now, and then you have your two ends kind of free. Overall, I'm really enjoying working with these needles. I did get them in a 2.25 millimeter instead of 2, because when I've been doing magic loop, my gauge does tighten up compared to the sock wonders, which I think a lot of people experience with 9-inch circulars. Usually they knit a little bit looser, which makes sense because you kind of have to hold your yarn a little looser to kind of hold the needles. But yeah, overall, I'm really enjoying the sock trios, and I would knit more socks with these. I definitely feel like they're secure, and I almost feel like working to the end of the needle is kind of motivation, because with the 9-inch circulars, I can put them down anytime. Middle of the round, start of the round, does not matter. These I always want to at least finish my needle. So, I don't know. Have you guys experienced this? Have you used them before? I'd love to know what you guys think, or if you would want to try something like these. I really enjoy them. And I'm enjoying this pattern. I think my brain is ready for a vanilla sock, because I've knit those On the Fence socks, which are like half vanilla, half patterned. And then I've been knitting these, and these are a charted design, which is great, and it's really easy to follow. But I've been craving like a good on-the-go vanilla sock. But I need to finish these first before the end of the month, before I start something. But definitely think the next socks I am starting are going to be some nice vanilla on-the-go socks. And I'm going to finish my Spruces socks, because they're just sitting in a project bag and I feel bad and I want them. So I just had a couple deadlines. So these are the Porthos socks. I am 1 black stripe into the foot, and I have to get 4 black stripes total. I believe I can do it. These have been great TV knitting, because they require some focus but not too much. Not good on the go knitting though. Yes, my Porthos. And now we can move on to the moment I know you all have been waiting for, the thing that I've been saying I was going to finish for this knit along.
I'm going to cast on and finish my weekender for this knit along.
My weekender. So this is my weekender by Andrea Mowry. I'm knitting a size 4, which is about 9 inches positive ease, and maybe based on the verb tense I used, you guys can know I said knitting, not knitted, and also we're in the WIP section and not finished objects, so that should probably also be a clear indicator of where we are. I have not finished my weekender, but like I said, for me it is Friday. For you it is Saturday, or possibly somewhere else in the future. And the knit along is not done yet, but I am very close. And if I don't necessarily finish for the knit along, as long as I finish before I record my next podcast, it's the same for you guys, because YouTube is like this weird time warp of recording ahead versus when things post, and YouTube video magic. So for me, I might not finish for the knit along, but for you, you might think I did. Yeah, okay, whatever. Show us the knitting, Kristen. Yeah, I'm working on it. I've made good progress. If you follow me on Instagram, I have been posting, and I know some of the people who follow have been commenting, who are participating in the knit along, and they're kind of cheering me on, and I really appreciate it. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. It's a giant bundle of fabric and wool and loveliness. So I have finished the front and the back and done the shoulder ribbing and done the seams, and it's bound off, and I have a vest, and I have started a sleeve. So last time I was here where this little sheepy is, my little trusty sheep from the corner of craft, my little orange sheep. He adorns my sweater knitting. He is my buddy. So I knit the front panel, and I knit the back panel, and I joined my shoulder ribbing. Please ignore the ends that are yet to be woven in. There are so many, and they are everywhere. Just ignore them. Ignore those. And I have started my sleeve. It's not very far. I did roughly 3 rounds of the sleeve. The reason I procrastinated a little bit on the sleeve is because Courtney told me when she knit her weekender that the sleeves are a little funky, or they're a little small. I did measure my bicep and looked at what the schematic for the pattern was, and the schematic said for my size it should be about 15 inches, and for my bicep that was like basically kind of how this shirt is, where it's like very close to skin. And since I'm planning to wear this more sweatshirt style, I wanted to do more stitches, a little bigger. So I'm going and doing the size 5 sleeve, which should be about 16 inches. And with that on my arm, it does give a nice little bit of extra around. I don't know if I'm going to follow the decrease rate that is suggested yet. That is yet to be determined. I've wanted to get it started, and so hopefully for the weekend I can focus, try it on as I go, figure out what decrease rate I would like to do, and then have this finished for the next episode. Look, it looks like a sweater vest. I have a sweater vest sweater. I'm excited. I'm so excited. So I'm knitting this with my Cacauo interchangeable needles. I am using a US 7 for the main body and a 6 for the ribbing. I'm probably going to switch for the sleeve. I don't know if I'll do it for the first sleeve because I need to try it on frequently, but for the second sleeve I will probably use my tiny shorty Cacauo interchangeables because those make the sleeves go very, very quickly. Right now, until I figure out exactly how big I want it and the decrease rate, I'm probably just going to stick with Magic Loop, and then I will switch over once I know what I am doing. And then I am using a natural merino wool from Das Wollschaft. I'm going to give you guys a nice little close-up. So that is the slip stitch detail down the front, and it is also on the back. And yes, I'm so happy, and I believe my deadline is working. Kind of. I spoke it into the universe, so I have to hold myself accountable. I'm so excited to wear this. I hope we get like one more like week of cold once it's finished so that I can just like wear it as my sweatshirt for that week. That's my plan, and I want to wear it when we go hiking. So I want it not so hot that I can't wear a long sleeve, but I don't want it so cold that I need like really thick layers. That's the plan. If it could stay in like the 50s, 40s, 50s, I believe I can do it. And yes, My Weekender by Andrea Mowry. It is coming along. I'm very excited. It's so large. Look at that. But it's so nice and snuggly. And I love this natural wool. It's just been so lovely to work with, and I don't know if you can see the texture that's just on there. It's amazing. Lovely to work with. So I recommend, if you've not knit with a natural yarn, maybe give it a go, because it's very tempting to just want to knit a lot of very natural feeling projects, because it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. So yes, My Weekender. Progress is being made. I'm so happy. We will have a finished sweater. This will be my fastest sweater too, because I started it roughly January 8th and it is February 26th right now. So this is going to be like a 7-week sweater, which is my fastest sweater considering my last cardigan took me like 4 months. So yay! This dog, he's ready for his walk. Those are all of my finished objects and work in projects for this week. I am still working on my habitation throw, but I don't know. I'll show it to you guys soon when I feel like I'm low on content, although I feel like I'm so close to the end. With that, I have made a ball of all the remaining colors. It's a giant knot ball. I have done the last 10 colors. I have done my Russian join for all of them, so I'm ready to just knit through it and be close to the end. I'm feeling close. Once I finish this weekend, I'm probably going to work on that quite a bit. I was working on it a lot, and then I was feeling the deadlines for these Desert Vista Dye Works sock for the month and My Weekender for the end of this knit along coming. So definitely wanted to finish those up for you guys. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is my Slipstravaganza. So I bought a kit for the Slipstravaganza. I loved the yarn for the Slipstravaganza. I do not know if I love the Slipstravaganza. I feel like I bought a little bit into the, I wanted to be included and I wanted to knit it, and once the final pattern came out, I think that's when I really slowed down. I think subconsciously I knew maybe it wasn't exactly my style, and it's just been hibernating in this basket for a while. So I think it's going to be frogged. So if we all want to say goodbye, this is our chance. I just really want to use the yarn in something that is really calling to me, and something that I think I'm going to wear more often, and something that I'm going to knit, because this has just been sitting here. And I just don't think the high, like, graphic kind of pattern is really my style. I like things that are more, I like texture more than the lots of graphic, and one, it's huge, and I don't know, whatever reason, it's just not calling to me anymore, which is absolutely okay. So this is what I have of my Slipstravaganza. I just started the second section, I think, so I'm not even that far, and so mostly the main color is the one that's the most worn out. So this was, I had a yellow and an orange and a white, and then I had a brown, which this color is almost gone. But I think I'm just gonna frog it. I think if I find another color that I really like to go with these, I'm thinking a Vertices Unite might be really, really nice. And I've knit one of those before. I really enjoyed it. I knit it as a gift for my stepsister, and it was really fun to knit, and I think it would be really great with these colors. I just need to find one more contrasting color. And yes, I'm just not a big fan of the holes. I don't know, it's just not for me, and it's okay. But there's been so many podcasts that I've been watching recently. The one this morning is the one I can remember. It was Kat from Heather and Hops, and she was talking about if something's not calling to you, or if you don't like it, it's okay to just rip it out and repurpose and reuse. And I was like, okay, it's time. I've talked to Courtney about it, and she said the same thing, and so this is me telling you the same thing, that if something is not bringing you joy, or if you're not enjoying it anymore, it is okay to let it go. And so I will probably be ripping that out this weekend or in the near future, now that I've made that decision. On a more positive note, I found a new pattern. So there are not many times when I'm scrolling on Instagram, and I'm scrolling and I'm looking at people's stories, and I'm scrolling, and my Instagram is very much knitting and yarn, and because I have a knitting Instagram account because I do this. And I came across this Instagram post. It is the Coast Along Shawl by Samantha Gurin. And instantly I was like, I want to make that. I want to make that. It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a garter shawl with some simple lace details, and the yarn that she picks are marvelous, and instantly I fell in love, and it sounds perfect. The garter stitch sounds simple and not too much brain power, and I want to make it. So I went upstairs and I looked at my yarn, and I picked the yarns that I'm going to use to make this shawl, and I'm probably casting it on as soon as my month is over and my weekender is done, or I might just start it sooner. So it calls for 2 skeins of finger weight of the main color and 1 skein of finger weight for the eyelet contrasting color. So these are the colors I am going to use. Let me move the labels out of the way. So The bottom color, the Life in the Tall Grass, this one is going to be my main color, and this top color is Ophelia by Stress Knits, and it is going to be my contrasting color. So this is a skein of merino singles. It is their single sock, so it is 400 yards, and it is on there is just merino yarn. It is Cactus Moon Soil, and a friend got this for me when they went to Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam, and I was watching their cats, and this was payment for watching their cats. So I did only have one skein of this, but I had decided that this is the yarn that I wanted. So I went on Stephen and Penelope last night, and they had one skein left, so I bought one more skein. And it shipped today. So, buying one skein to get 3 out of my stash. So it is greens with purple, and I think it's going to be amazing for the main color. And then for my contrasting color is this Ophelia by Stress Knits. It's on her favorite base, so 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. And it's a simple cream with this green speckling throughout, with some pops of orange and blue sometimes, and sometimes there's also some pink. So I thought for a simple contrasting color it would go really well with this, because it pulls the same greens from the Life in the Tall Grass, the Cactus Moon Soil, but it is different enough to look different in the shawl. So I am very excited and ready to start this. And I think for the weekend the pattern is on sale. There's a coupon code on Ravelry. Yes, through March 4th there's a coupon code if you would like the shawl, and is not very, I usually only buy patterns when I'm ready to start knitting them, and this one immediately I went upstairs and picked out yarn for it. So I'm very excited. I hope you are excited to see this shawl as well, because I am just gonna probably be starting it very, very soon. With all that being said, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. If you liked a video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, because it really does help me find other people who might be interested in our knitting podcast as well. If you'd like to know when I post future videos, go ahead and hit subscribe, and then the little notification bell will let you know as soon as I post them. With that, thank you guys so much for spending your day with me. I hope your knitting is bringing you some joy and that you're putting love into every stitch, and I'll see you guys again in a couple weeks. Bye! Oh my gosh, I have something in my eyeball. Shiny. I have so much cat hair everywhere. My animals are shedding because it's starting to get warm, and it's getting hair over my entire house. So I was there, and that's the bottom of the sweater. I was there. No, it's not. Jeez.